Are you tired, truly, utterly exhausted by the relentless cycle of almost that has plagued our beloved Chicago Bulls for far too long? Does the very thought of another season trapped in the purgatory of mediocrity ignite a frustrated, burning fire deep within your fan's heart? For 3 long, grueling years, we've watched our team, a franchise steeped in championship lore, drift further and further from the promised land of playoff contention. We've endured tantalizing glimpses of potential, flashes of brilliance that promise a brighter tomorrow, only to see them dissipate into the familiar haze of unfulfilled expectations, leaving us with nothing but a bitter taste. But what if, just as that weary resignation begins to settle in, a bold, audacious, hypothetical trade emerges from the depths of the rumor mill? A seismic shift so audacious it promises to shatter the status quo. A move that could either launch the Bulls back into the stratosphere of contention or send them plummeting into an even deeper abyss. We're talking about a blockbuster trade for future Hall of Fame center, a deal that would send shockwaves through the entire NBA, leaving no fan indifferent. Is this merely a desperate gamble born of our collective frustration, a frantic swing for relevance? Or could it be the gargantuan risk, the daring leap of faith this franchise so desperately needs to reclaim its former glory, to once again stand tall among the league's elite? This isn't just about a trade. It's about the very soul of the franchise, a desperate search for identity, and the eternal quest to finally bring championship-caliber basketball back to the Windy City. As the Chicago Bulls prepare to tip off the 2025-26 NBA season, one singular, overriding objective looms large: to emphatically end the 3-year playoff drought. This isn't just a target. It's a burden, a heavy weight pressing down on the franchise, the coaching staff, and most acutely on you, the loyal and long-suffering fan base. For a team with such a storied, illustrious history, a prolonged absence from the postseason is not merely disappointing, it's an unacceptable stain on the legacy of a proud organization, a stark reminder of how far we've fallen from the days of dominance. The current core, featuring talents like Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Nikola Vučević, and the promising Matas Buzelis, has certainly offered moments of genuine excitement. We've witnessed periods of cohesive, fluid play and individual brilliance where the pieces, for a fleeting moment, seem to click into place, hinting at a brighter, more harmonious future. Yet, the elusive qualities of consistency and championship-level execution have remained frustratingly out of reach. We've been treated to exhilarating peaks, only to be brought crashing down by the valleys of inconsistency, leaving us all to wonder with a collective sigh. When will the true, sustained ascent finally begin? When will this team truly break free from the gravitational pull of almost? The offseason saw the Bulls make some intriguing additions, signaling a clear intent to push aggressively for a playoff berth. They kicked off their draft by selecting Noa Essengue 12th overall in the 2025 draft, bringing in fresh talent and a new dimension to their roster. Following that, they executed a significant trade, acquiring Isaac Okoro in a deal that sent Lonzo Ball to the Cleveland Cavaliers. These moves suggest a dual strategy: leverage a potentially weakened Eastern Conference to make a playoff push this season, while simultaneously fostering the development of their younger players, hoping they take that crucial next step forward. It's a delicate balancing act, trying to win now while building for tomorrow, a tightrope walk that many NBA franchises struggle to master. The front office is attempting to thread a needle, aiming for immediate competitiveness without sacrificing the long-term vision. A challenge that demands both foresight and a touch of daring. However, even with these strategic off-season maneuvers, the rumor mill never truly stops churning in the NBA. And for a team like the Bulls, perpetually on the cusp of something more, every player becomes a potential trade chip, every roster spot a subject of intense speculation. One player who has consistently found himself at the very epicenter of trade rumors over the past few seasons is veteran center Nikola Vučević. While Vučević has been a solid contributor, providing reliable scoring and rebounding from the center position, he hasn't always generated a ton of widespread interest from other teams around the league. His consistent, if unspectacular, production has often been overshadowed by persistent questions about his defensive impact and overall fit in a modern, fast-paced NBA offense. In a league increasingly prioritizing switchability and rim protection, Vučević's traditional big man skill set has sometimes felt like an outlier, a relic from a bygone era. This season, however, a critical factor could fundamentally change that dynamic. Vučević is on an expiring contract. An expiring deal often makes a veteran player far more attractive to contending teams looking to shed salary or take a calculated risk without a long-term commitment. It offers invaluable flexibility, a chance to evaluate a player without the burden of a multi-year commitment, making Vučević a suddenly more palatable, even desirable option for teams in desperate need of a reliable big man. This is precisely where the plot thickens and a potential lifeline for the Bulls emerges. Enter the audacious proposal, a concept so bold it could only come from the fertile imagination of a Bleacher Report scribe like Andy Bailey. He's put forth a mock trade that would see the Chicago Bulls acquire none other than Philadelphia 76ers superstar Joel Embiid. Now, let that sink in for a moment. Joel Embiid, the reigning MVP, just a couple of seasons ago, a dominant force who at his best is virtually unguardable. Such a move would undoubtedly mark a dramatic shift in approach for Chicago's front office, a stark departure from the cautious, incremental adjustments that have defined their tenure. As Bailey himself aptly puts it, this isn't just a change, it's a gargantuan risk. But in a league where bold moves often define legacies, perhaps a gargantuan risk is precisely what's needed to shake the Bulls out of their slumber. At the very least, no one could accuse the organization of being boring anymore. Let's dissect the proposed deal, a transaction that would undoubtedly reshape the landscape of the Eastern Conference. In this hypothetical scenario, the Chicago Bulls would receive the Philadelphia 76ers cornerstone, the colossal center Joel Embiid. In return, the 76ers would acquire a package designed to provide both immediate financial relief and valuable future assets. Center Nikola Vučević, center Zach Collins, the promising young forward Noa Essengue, the number 12 pick in the 2025 draft, and a coveted 2029 first-round pick. From Philadelphia's perspective, the thinking here is crystal clear, almost a no-brainer if they could pull it off. Embiid, despite his undeniable talent, has struggled mightily to stay healthy, a polite understatement given his recent track record. He's owed a truly massive amount of money, a staggering $193 million over the next 3 seasons, with a player option for an additional $69 million in 2028 to 29 when he'll be 34 years old. This contract, for a player with his injury history, is rapidly becoming a significant albatross around the Sixers' neck, threatening to cripple their future flexibility. At his absolute peak, Joel Embiid is a force of nature, one of the NBA's premier superstars. His resume speaks for itself. A 7-time All-Star, a 2-time scoring champion, and 5 All-NBA selections. When he's on the court healthy and engaged, he's a dominant two-way player who can score from anywhere, rebound with authority, and anchor a defense with his imposing presence. He's the kind of talent that can single-handedly elevate a franchise, turning contenders into champions. But the cruel irony of Embiid's career has been his persistent, debilitating battle with injuries. The process has been as much about his recovery timelines as his on-court brilliance. Since winning the league's MVP award in the 2022-23 season, Embiid has played a combined 58 games in the 2 subsequent seasons and a mere 19 games just last year. This isn't just a minor setback, it's a deeply concerning pattern. As he approaches his mid-30s, there's little, if any, reason to believe he'll suddenly find a way to stay consistently healthy. 7-footers with a history of foot and lower body injuries generally do not age gracefully in the NBA, and Embiid's recent track record offers little inspiration for confidence. This is the central, undeniable risk that looms over any potential trade for the superstar. For the Philadelphia 76ers, this trade proposal, despite parting with a generational talent, offers a compelling path forward. The financial implications alone are staggering. Both Nikola Vučević and Zach Collins are on expiring contracts, which would immediately save the 76ers almost $40 million in salary cap space. This kind of flexibility is invaluable in the modern NBA, allowing a team to retool, pursue other coveted free agents, or absorb new contracts without being crippled by the luxury tax. But the Sixers wouldn't just be shedding salary, they'd be acquiring genuine assets for their future. Noa Essengue, the number 12 pick in the 2025 draft, is an intriguing prospect. He's undeniably raw, but he's loaded with upside, an athletic 6'10" wing/forward hybrid with elite defensive potential and enough ball handling skills to make his offensive game genuinely interesting. He represents the kind of high-ceiling, versatile talent that teams covet in today's positionless NBA. And then there's the cherry on top, a future first-round pick in 2029. This pick, potentially unprotected, offers the Sixers another valuable lottery ticket, a chance to land another foundational piece years down the line. In essence, Philadelphia would be getting out from under a potentially disastrous contract, gaining significant financial flexibility, and acquiring both a promising young talent and a valuable future draft asset. It's a shrewd move that prioritizes long-term stability and future contention over the increasingly fragile present. Now, let's turn our attention back to the Chicago Bulls and grade this proposed deal from their perspective. The immediate reaction from the fan base: should Arturas Karnisovas pull the trigger on such a move, might very well be one of revolt and picketing outside the United Center. The skepticism is understandable. Sure, in a dream world, an all-NBA level Embiid, if he could somehow find a way to stay on the court for even 55 to 60 games a year for the next few seasons, would undoubtedly be the most impactful star the franchise has had since the electrifying days of Derrick Rose. Imagine an Embiid operating the post, drawing double teams, kicking out to a floor general like 22-year-old Josh Giddey, a rising two-way star in 20-year-old Matas Buzelis, and a perimeter scorer like Kobe White. That lineup on paper would make the Bulls immediate contenders in the Eastern Conference, a legitimate threat to challenge the league's elite. But as the old adage goes, that's not how the cookie crumbles. The reality is far more complex, far more perilous. The massive if of Embiid's health is not just a footnote. It's the entire story. As we've discussed, 7-footers with a history of chronic foot and lower body injuries simply do not age well. In the NBA, Embiid's recent track record doesn't just fail to inspire confidence, it actively screams caution. The idea of mortgaging future assets like the promising Noa Essengue and a valuable 2029 first-round pick for an aging, injury-prone superstar is precisely what the Bulls, with their current young core, should not be doing. With talents like Giddey and Buzelis, the Bulls should be focused on building around them, cultivating their growth, and acquiring assets that align with their timeline, not trading away their future for a fleeting, high-risk shot at immediate contention. Losing Vučević and Collins wouldn't affect the Bulls much long-term as they aren't foundational pieces, but the cost of Embiid in terms of future flexibility and talent is simply too steep for a team in Chicago's current predicament. This isn't a move that sets the Bulls up for sustained success. It's a desperate gamble that could leave them in an even worse position down the line, saddled with an enormous contract and no future assets to speak of. So, where does this leave the Chicago Bulls? This trade proposal, while tantalizing in its potential, forces us to confront the core dilemma facing the franchise: the intoxicating allure of a superstar versus the crushing weight of his injury history and an astronomical contract. It's a reflection of the Bulls' identity crisis, a team caught between the desire to win now and the necessity of building for the future. Are they truly ready to gamble their long-term prospects for a fleeting, high-risk chance of contention? Or should they commit to a patient, deliberate rebuild around their promising young core? This isn't just about a trade. It's about the soul of the franchise, about whether they'll continue to chase ghosts of past glory or forge a new, sustainable path forward. The line between bold ambition and reckless abandon is incredibly thin, and this proposed deal teeters precariously on that edge. What do you think, Chicago? Is this the desperate swing we need to finally break free from the chains of mediocrity? Or a one-way ticket to even more heartache and a future devoid of hope? Can Joel Embiid defy the odds and stay healthy, transforming the Bulls into contenders? Or is this a gamble too rich for the Bulls' blood, a move that would ultimately set them back even further? I want to hear your raw, unfiltered thoughts, your hopes, and your fears in the comment section below. Let's ignite a passionate discussion about the future of the Red and Black. And if this deep dive into the Bulls' potential blockbuster trade resonated with you, if it got you thinking, please smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive, in-depth reports that cut through the noise and get to the heart of the game. Your engagement fuels our passion for bringing you the stories that truly matter. Given the immense risk involved, what alternative, less drastic moves do you think the Bulls should explore to end their playoff drought and build for the future?